All right, still with me, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Josh Ritter. And Josh, I think that's an interesting narrative. He goes on to say that, and you heard there that people wouldn't pay, so he got stuck a little bit. He also talked about he was showing them how to go about getting the permits for the cremations. People wouldn't get those permits, so he couldn't cremate them. He was left with these bodies because people would say they were going to pay, or they were going to come pick them up, but they never would, or arrange to get them picked up, and they never would. All these different things. And to be quite frank, when you're dealing with the less fortunate, things can get a little messy. We always know people are, robbing from Peter to pay Paul. Things can get that way. He doesn't have the look of someone, or he's not living the lifestyle of someone who's just out to fleece folks. Again, it looks like a guy who got in over his head and got some bad situation. Do you think that's a viable argument being made by the defense there?
I think it's a very viable argument. It's funny, when I first started to listen to his statements there, I wasn't really buying it. And when he was talking about, how we used to bury people and you just kind of bury dad out somewhere in the farm, I'm kind of like, okay, you're losing me here. But as he continued to kind of talk about how he's really a sympathetic figure, that, as you point out, that he's really providing a service to the unfortunate. He's giving them a way to have a funeral without all of those costs. That's a sympathetic figure, and it began to sound more and more convincing to me. And he is speaking to just an audience of one here, so he only has to convince that judge that this person really doesn't have that criminal mindset that we would usually see in a person on trial for a crime. That he was really, like you pointed out, perhaps someone that things get a little messy when you're dealing with folks who don't have the money to pay for things, that we might expect. And so he was just providing this service. I think it really kind of wrapped up to be a more convincing argument by the end.